Welcome to Stories We Weren't Supposed to Tell is a survivor-led space where we speak honestly about abuse, healing, and what it really takes to rebuild your life. This podcast is not a substitute for therapy or medical advice. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and take care of yourself while listening. This episode contains discussions of emotional abuse, coercive control, manipulation, and strangulation. Please listen at your own pace. I'm Randin, and I'm here with Krystle. Before we get into this episode, if you have not listened to Maya's story yet, pause and go back. We'll wait. Today we're talking about what it looks like when your knight in shining armor becomes the dragon you have to slay. Where the fear of self-harm overrides your safety, when your past defines who you let in your present. He wanted her small, he wanted her confused, he wanted her scared. He wanted full control over every inch of her mind. And right now, we're going to reveal the steps he took to do this. What stood out the most to you in her story?
Honestly, when he would pin her down, that brought back some dark memories. So that stuck with me. The pinning down, and I did not like that.
Yeah. When he was kneeling on the back of her neck
Yeah.
and doing the George Floyd
Yeah.
reference. Yeah, that was a hard one for me too.
Yeah.
And then how fast everything went with them.
You know, that doesn't seem to surprise me anymore because it kind of seems like every situation like this, that comes up. Oh, that surprised me how quick it was, how quick. Well, it kind of seems like it's a trend.
Mm-hmm.
Get
Yeah,
them hooked quick.
for sure. When he made that comment of, you don't seem like the type of girl who gives it up on the first date. So
Yeah. On the very first date, planting that initial doubt.
it sounds respectful, right? But it's really not. So he's planting that seed of where she's going to go home and think, like, what did he mean by that? Is he mad because I'm not going to put out? Is he wanting me not to, she's doing that internal back and forth in her mind.
Right. And he basically defined her for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's framing for those who don't know. He tried to define her because he didn't really ask her what she wanted. He just made a statement. So instead of being like, hey, you want to go home? You want to go do some fun stuff in the bedroom? And then that's another thing I want to point out with that is because do you want to stay in that box that he just put you in to appease him? Or are you worried that you need to go in that different box?
And he also planted that initial chaos as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because that question, not even question, that statement alone causes chaos in the brain by just not knowing what he meant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you're the first date, you're not all the way confident yet. It's your first time back out, and you're not just gonna be like, well, what do you mean by that?
Right.
Because honestly, if somebody would make that statement to me on a first date now, I think I would not even have a second date.
Yeah, but let's think about 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We would have been left sitting going, what did he mean by that? What did he?
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah.
And after the healing and stuff, but definitely planting that little seed for sure. Um, then you jump right into the second date.
The next day. Very next
The
day.
very next day.
Mhm. And immediately he's there with her and her best friend who came for support. And immediately they go into talk of a threesome.
Yeah.
And she shuts it down. Says no. Multiple times she says no. She set the boundary and they kept asking.
Mm-hmm.
So then she modified the boundary by saying, okay, well, let's go get tested, make sure we're all safe about it if this is what we're going to do. They denied it.
Mm-hmm.
So then she eventually, after that much pressure, gave in.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no longer a boundary there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's clear that he was trying to, number one, see if she would go past her boundary.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, he was fertilizing that seed from the night before
Mm-hmm.
of, this is what I want. Are you going to give it to me? Or are
Right.
you the girl that doesn't put out the first time? So everything she was just entangled in the day before. And then he also was looking at the long term of it of this is how I'm going to get rid of her friend. And this is how I'm going to isolate her from that
Yes.
one person. Now, we don't know for sure if that's what was going through his mind, but I would place bets that that's exactly what happened.
Right.
And
I'm just gonna say, okay, she set boundaries. She asked for safety
mhm.
in the tests and even tried to leave at one point.
I
That is classic coercion.
absolutely. So it's wearing someone down until their no stops being respected. And then they're also going to question stuff later as well because they already know that they're going to push, 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 and they're going to want to keep them happy. So, like the walking on HLs, letting them have their way. So, yeah, just building on what I just said, after everything after that becomes easier to push. So, boundary erosion. So, that moment wasn't isolated, it just set the pattern. He already knew that her no holds no weight. So, whenever he would push, she wouldn't resist, basically. So that just set up the rest of the relationship for failure on her part
Right.
for that. Um,
Well, she already basically told them her no, it can be stepped over and she doesn't get mad.
yeah, she's drawing that line in the sand,
Mm-hmm.
which is a line from my book. One of the many lines. Um, so, and then she's always going to question herself, like, was I being too much? Was that boundary unreasonable? Should I have just gone with it? Um, it's one thing that absolutely floored me, and it really doesn't because this actually happens a lot, where they devalue you with criticism. So I don't know if you personally have ever been put through that, but I have.
Yes, slightly. I feel like I have.
Yeah. And
But sometimes I still question myself, like, was it that bad?
yeah, wasn't that bad? I do because it took me many years and I still have the issue of where I hear things in my head that he had told me.
Mm.
And so her whole thing of you smell even after taking a shower. And she was framing it as he's just trying to help me. He's just trying to make me better.
Right, at first she was kinda taking offense to it, and then she started to asking herself, "Well, is he just trying to be helpful?"
hmm
Yeah.
And then her body, the comments he'd make about her body, what she wore, how she disciplined her children.
Yes, at one point, as I was, like, listening and going through it through the interview, I was thinking to myself, "At what point do you not just ask yourself, 'I'm clearly not good enough for him, maybe I should check out?'"
Because you don't.
You
When you're
don't.
in
When
it,
you're in it, you don't see it.
you're trying to figure out how to fix yourself to make that person not see you in that light. You see it as rejection. You see it as a flaw. You see it as something you need to fix for them. You don't see it as like what is that clip? Who is it? Ah, Reese Witherspoon. Have you seen that clip? She's
With
being interviewed on a show. I don't know, and maybe it was the Kelly Clarkson show. It's a newer show. Or
I
maybe Drew Barrymore. One or the
okay.
other. I don't know. And I just seen this clip. She said, at some point you come to the realization that I'm just not the girl for you.
Yeah.
But it takes a long time for you to get to that point to where you realize, and you can go either way. And I think if you already have those abandonment wounds, like for me, mine was abandonment wounds, bad.
Yeah.
Like I was never anybody's first choice. I was never anybody's last choice. And that's what I had in my head. That's how I felt. Like nobody ever chose me. Nobody ever wanted me. So I always tried to be something different for everybody.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of my life being like that. And so I think that when you're already in those wounds and you're already in that, your brain's not thinking clearly enough to where you just go, "Hey, you know what? I'm not the girl for you, am I?"
Yeah. Your brain's so bogged down with chaos
Yeah.
that you don't have the mental capacity to put those thoughts into words.
You're just too worried about being left. You want to prove that you're worthy. You're worthy for this person. But the thing is you're 100% worthy for the right person for you. The right person for you is not going to be like, you smell. You can't wear that. You're too big. You're too this. You're too that. They're not going to be like that. Now, there may be times when you get out of the shower and they're like, I don't think you wiped your butt. Or, I don't think you cleaned your butt crack good enough or whatever it may
Go
be.
give yourself a little extra scrub.
That's a little bit different than consistently. Do you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
there's difference, but you'll never be good enough for that person who isn't there and doesn't want you. It's same with friendships.
Yeah.
You're never going to be good enough for that friend that doesn't just want you for your company. You're never going to be that friend, right?
Right.
And I think everybody's been through that.
Yeah.
Where you have people that just, if you're not doing something for them or catering to them or being a certain way, that you're not their friend.
Right.
Or they're sitting there trying to change you. You know, like, oh, you should wear this. Oh, you should do that. Oh, well, let's go do this. I know you don't like to go to the bar, but let's go to the bar tonight and drink.
Right.
You know, and then, of course, you go because whatever. But it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think that comes with a lot of healing and a lot of not caring what other people think and just knowing your value.
Which is the hardest part of healing.
Mm-hmm.
All three of those that you said. You said not caring, knowing your value.
Mm-hmm.
What was the third one?
And loving yourself.
And loving yourself. All
And
three of those, I think it's a tie on which one's the hardest to achieve.
I think they all go hand in hand. Honestly, they're all hard, but they all go hand in hand. And I used to hate when people would say this, you need to learn how to be single. You need to learn how to be by yourself. That used to make me so mad because I would be like, what do you mean? Like, because
I'm doing it. I'm alone.
Yeah, because you're in a relationship or because you're not in a relationship, that means how much you love yourself or don't love yourself. And it wasn't until the last breakup and the last time of me being by myself because I didn't truly fall in love with myself until I realized that I'm the one who makes myself happy. Like I can't look for that external. And a lot of people are looking for that other person to make them happy.
Yeah.
Like soon as I get in a relationship, soon as I get married, soon as this, and it's like destination happiness.
Yeah.
You know,
there's never an end. It's like the goalpost.
Yep, moving the
Just keeps
goalpost.
getting extended.
And I'm so good at moving the goalpost on myself.
Yeah, you are.
Like I don't ever celebrate myself. Everybody's like, oh, your book, oh, your podcast. And I was like, so.
And I'm moving on.
Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. And anybody can, in my opinion.
No, they can't.
But, yeah. So I don't ever pat myself on the back. So I'm good at that. But one thing is you got to learn to live in the present. You got to learn to love yourself for the good and the bad. And then you have to also realize that not everybody in this world is meant to love you.
That is huge. Will you say that one more time?
Not everybody in this world is meant to love you.
That one there holds weight.
Mm-hmm.
Because if someone don't like me, I've got a problem. What do I have to fix? Because what did I do wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes it's just my face.
Yeah. Well,
I can't fix that.
Right? I can't fix my face. Absolutely. I agree with that. It's hard, especially with the people that you work with or like softball or different things. And I know me and you've talked about this before is I used to walk in the room and wonder if people liked me.
Right.
And now I walk in the room and I wonder if I like them. Peace becomes addicting.
So addicting. I showed up for the first softball game since I've had the biggest part of my healing, and ended up at the back away from people because there was too much. It was too much.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
If anybody knows, adult softball is toxic in the state of Utah. It is toxic.
It's worse than you can imagine.
Right?
And that's saying something.
But I have really come to realize that about myself. Even in talking to people or getting to know people, I don't even want to date. I'm so happy and it's so peaceful here.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Don't want to add any chaos.
I don't want somebody ruining my day at 8 a.m.
Yeah. Waking up to stinky farts at 3 a.m.
Right? Or whatever.
And then you're ruined for all day.
Right?
That was me this morning. I was so mad I didn't even go to the gym because his fart stunk so bad last night. I woke up so many times. I was so mad. But don't worry, he woke up this morning, guys.
He woke up, that's fine. He didn't have to hide a body today. Maybe another day. Not today.
Not today. Another thing that I saw was he did not have to work hard to set in that devaluation
No, he didn't.
because she already had it set up from her ex.
Mhm.
And a little bit from her childhood as well.
Yeah, so she had that blueprint that I talk about.
Yep.
So once you have that blueprint and you haven't worked on the reasons why you know, your wounds or why you have that belief, because I do believe that blueprint is your belief and your cores and your values. The spider webs in every corner of your brain
Uh-huh.
needs a good dusting.
Yeah.
So devaluation is really easy to do to people that have already lived in manipulation, and they just fall for it. And um we touched this already with her conditioning, her defending him because she always had an explanation for his behavior. So I know that you just heard the story, not the interview, but just the story that I told you. But she was consistently um, going off about, oh, he was just trying to help me. She had something to justify everything that he did.
Yes. Every time. And almost immediately, she talked about it in the first date
Mm-hmm.
when he made that statement.
Conditioning. Okay, so conditioning is also like where you're gaslighting yourself. So the whole gaslighting thing comes into play. And he absolutely gaslit her.
Oh, yeah.
There wasn't, can you think of any examples?
Oh, the one where they were in the truck and I think they were driving and he punched her in the nose.
Well, yeah, he hit himself in the vape, had the head with the vape, and he had the knife.
Right.
And was like, look what you did this to me. And then when she laid on the horn, he punched her.
He punched her.
And then,
And then immediately, that's not what happened.
yeah, I brushed you.
Yeah.
So the manipulation becomes internal. She's conditioned, she's gaslighting herself. There's that cognitive dissonance that happens. Okay, so for those of you that don't know about that, it's basically when you rewrite what's happened, which is mixed with like what you did, what you thought was happening, and what they thought was happening, and you live in this like almost fantasy land. So you're justifying their behavior because of X, Y, and Z, right?
Right.
And then you're also completely daydreaming in your head. You're replaying the scenarios, and you're just basically
Combining the two stories.
Mhm, yes. And I did that a lot.
Yes.
I'm very good at that. Speaking of the moment in the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about he hurts himself, grabs a knife, loses control. You made me this angry. That's classic blame shifting. She's arguing with him and corrects me if I'm wrong, but she was mad because he was talking to somebody that she worked with. And there was a couple other things that she wanted to address that was making her upset. Or maybe it was he liked something on Facebook of another girl, something of that point.
I don't know that we talked about that
I don't
in the story.
I don't think I put that in the story.
Yeah.
But it was something along those lines. So she's coming up here with valid concerns. They end up fighting. He's driving erratically. He's pulling all this crap, right? And then all of a sudden she is defending herself. Right? So this is
Flips the
also
story.
it's blame shifting, gaslighting, Darvo. I
Mhm.
mean, you can name all of these things that are happening all at once because manipulation's never black and white, and they could be doing multiple things at the same time.
And the grab that he had on her emotional state, he had that so early on and he knew it. It's easy for him to use multiple at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. And he then immediately after all of this, I'm sorry. I love you. Let's go back to the apartment. Everything's going to be fine. I just
I
brushed
just
you.
brushed you.
She's thinking, she's relieved. This fight's over. He's not driving erratically anymore. He loves me. We're going to go home. We're going to have a good night, right? Intermittent reinforcement is there.
The push-pull.
Yeah, the push-pull. I do want to bring up on the blame shifting. She takes responsibility once again for his behavior.
She did, didn't she?
Mhm.
I forgot about that.
Mhm,
She took responsibility for that night.
mhm, yeah, and she said as well, when she was trying to make the plans to leave, she kept saying, like, "If I just make myself small, if I
Mhm.
just do what he says, if I don't argue with him, if I stay calm, basically, if I'm walking on eggshells,
Yep.
he won't hurt me. He won't hurt me in front of the kids, and I can make it till tax season, right?"
Right.
So, this poor thing. And once again, you're never trapped, ever.
Yeah.
You're never trapped. There's so many different ways, even if you don't have family. There's or friends out here, or if you think you're alone in the world, you're not really alone. There's YCC,
Yep.
the homeless shelter. So if you're in the Ogden area, Cottage of Hope is a great place. You can also call like the National Domestic Hotline. There's so many different things, and even if you don't want to call, there's all kinds of online chats that you can just go in there and ask, and all the different resources of what you can do. There's victim advocates everywhere. You could even call up to the courthouses and say, "Hey, is there a victim advocate I can talk to?" And you can talk to one of them. And even though there's not been a crime against you and you're not a victim, well, there has been, you just haven't reported it, they can put you on the right steps of what to do.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is make that embarrassing phone call that nobody wants to make. Doesn't matter if you're bawling your eyes out and you can't get your words out, they don't care. They want to help you.
They're there for you.
You're never trapped. You don't have to wait till tax season and walk on eggshells hoping that you don't get the knee in the back of your neck, right?
Nobody deserves that.
This is a good one. Okay. In the car, when he hurts himself, he smashes his face with a vape, all that scene we've already said. Outside looking in, we're like, what unstable behavior? Like, what? Why would you fall for that, right?
Right.
But when you're in it, you don't think of it that way.
Right.
Now you're thinking, this person I love dearly and I want to be accepted by, they're going to hurt themselves if I don't watch what I say and what I do. So now you're not only fearing for your safety, you're fearing for their safety. And how many times have you heard from people like, I tried to leave and they said they were going to kill themselves? So I
All the
stayed,
time.
right?
Too many times.
Mhm. Emotional manipulation through self harm.
Yep.
I've had that said to me before.
Mhm.
If you leave me, I'm going to hurt myself. So what do? You stay.
You stay.
Right? You don't want this person that you love that's hurting you,
Right.
because most people that do get abused have these big, beautiful hearts, right? And they don't want anything to happen to this other person no matter what they put them through, right?
Right.
So, um, and I think this is
Well, and a
also
lot of it is they wouldn't be able to live with themselves. If they left anyways, it would they feel that if something did end up happening, if he did end up self-harming or he or she, then that would be the end of them as well because they would wear that.
Mhm. Well, you don't ever want to be the reason somebody did something like that to themselves, right?
Right.
You don't ever want to have to live with that, but at the same time, you have to realize that they have to take accountability for their reactions, and what they're putting you through is not acceptable, and you shouldn't have to be put through that. If they're gonna go end their life after you guys break up, that is their choice, it's not your choice. That was their choice that they made.
Mhm.
Regardless of how much they threatened you, they
Right.
still had that choice.
Right.
And I know that's a harsh thing to say, but it's so true. Don't stay in a relationship like that because, you're worried they're going to do something. But another thing is if they're threatening to do that, you better make sure that you're safe.
Right.
Because if they're going to hurt themselves and they're so upset that you left and they've already put their hands on you, who says they're not going to show up at your house with a gun?
Right.
So protect yourself for sure. I think that also can go along with the fear based control and intimidation on that too. Physical control and intimidation.
So this one's a huge one because it doesn't take a lot for a man to outpower a woman. It
No.
doesn't. And there are certain positions when you get restrained that you, as a woman, cannot get away from a man.
Mhm.
And the physical restraining when he had her and was choking her, and that one stood out a lot due to the fact that he was referencing the George Floyd situation at the time.
Yeah, so he 100% knew what he was doing.
He knew. what he was doing, and he was taking pride in it.
Mhm. He thought it was funny. He was mocking and laughing. He thought it was funny. He thought it was a joke.
I can't even imagine the amount of fear knowing that her kids are
Mhm.
watching it. She knew, she could hear him screaming.
That's when she finally had that voice of reason, that clarity that came to her that last time when she finally went out of what was happening in front of her and could hear her kids. Because I don't think before she could hear.
Right.
I think that was the first time she actually heard.
She actually heard. Yeah,
Mhm.
and her boys were screaming.
Yep.
And that that domination over somebody, it doesn't go away when they let you up.
No.
At that point, you know you're cooked. You know you're theirs if they want you.
Mhm. Yeah, they have that control, they get off on that control, and it's like, "Oh, well, if you're not gonna do what I say, well, watch me
Mhm.
make you, watch me do this." She was worried, she thought she was gonna die, but she could have, easily,
Easily.
easily.
Actually, a lot of strangulation cases that result in death are what the offender calls an accident.
Mhm.
He didn't mean to go all the way.
Yep.
They didn't mean to go all the way,
Mm.
is typically what they say.
Yeah.
And that's because it's so easy to damage all that. So if you're getting strangled, you are seconds away at any time
Mhm.
from
And
death.
yeah, like I said before, they don't realize their own strength.
Mhm.
There's those bones, there's everything that can just be crushed, and it's also, they hang on a little bit longer each time. It's not a good situation to be in. I think more women should take self-defense classes, and they should figure out there's ways to get out of their holds.
Yeah.
For as tiny as you are or as big as you are, it doesn't matter if you know the right techniques and where to use and where to hit them, you you can get out of their holds,
Yeah.
especially when your adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah. So this one happened a lot in the story because after every argument, after every fight, it was just that instant relief that it was over that she felt.
Mhm,
And it was instant for him too, where it switched from fighting to, I'm sorry, I love you. It's fine. Let's go home.
mhm. Yeah, absolutely. There was fighting, there was bliss, but I also feel like he was doing this a lot to her. She was going through those loops and those emotions. She said it was ridiculous. It was all the time. This wasn't just a, like, once a week or once a month thing, like, this was all the time, and her nervous system definitely was going through all those highs and lows. You're always just trying to get back to when you felt safe. We should also talk a little bit more about the healing and the different trauma responses because we just kind of talk about the manipulation tactics, but we don't really go into some of the other stuff. I know do say stuff like your nervous system or this and that, but um, she didn't feel like she could reach out to anybody. And she said she felt a lot of shame.
Right. Because she had already had an ex husband who was a lot similar.
Mm-hmm.
And now she was in the situation again. And
Mm-hmm.
she even said, how many times do you get to call before no one shows up?
Mm-hmm. And I should have known better.
Mhm.
Or why am I going through this again? And I say it, I've said it a million times, abuse thrives in silence.
Mhm. That's why they alienate you from everybody.
Mhm.
And he had already gotten rid of the one friend that she had that would see things that were going on.
But would she?
I hope so.
I don't know, after the whole threesome thing,
Yeah. Well, I mean, if she was a good friend, yeah,
because
because
I
she
could
was
see
not a
being
good
like,
friend.
"Okay, let's have a threesome," right? Or asking, okay, that's one thing, but after being told no repeatedly and still pushing back, that's not a good friend.
Yeah, no.
Or you're just supposed to be there for support. She said, "I'm good, go," and you don't leave. It's not a good friend.
Yeah.
Unless you're worried they're, dangerous and you wanna be there for that reason, but she just wanna get
Yeah.
a threesome.
She just stuck around.
A lot of women do where they kind of create a timeline. Um, I saw some I think it was on Facebook, and they were just making fun of it, and this is so true. So, um, they said something like, "Janet is giving Frank 3 weeks."
Oh, yes. I
Yeah,
know what you're
yeah.
talking about.
Janet's giving Frank 3 weeks to change his behavior.
Yep.
And here's Frank, happy as can be, not knowing that he's on a deadline,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So women do that regardless. We're not vocal about the things that we want or the things that we need in our relationship. We kind of just expect our partners to be mind readers, right?
Right.
Like they should all just automatically do this. No, relationships don't work that way. If you're not getting what you need to say, hey, you're not doing it for me.
Yep.
If things don't get better by X date, or these are the steps I'm going to take to leave. Now, a woman plans on leaving long before she leaves.
Absolutely. I would say before I left, I knew for probably a year.
Before you left?
Yeah.
Then yeah, we start planning our escape. And that's the one thing that when you look at breakups too, the woman mourns the relationship before it's over.
I agree with that 100%.
We mourn the relationship before it's over, and then when it gets over, we finally end it or they end it or whatever it may be, and then you start building the steps to work on yourself, you focus on yourself. Guys do a whole, like, 180 as soon as it's over, right? They're not done. They're, like, gonna jump from bed to bed, do whatever they can to keep their mind sidetracked, and it's, like, usually 2 or 3 months later, they're like, "Oh, damn, I messed up.
Mm,
I shoulda done this. I shoulda done that."
right.
So, but women
And
do.
then right when we're doing our best, they can sneaking right back
Yeah, they're
in.
like, "Oh, you're looking good.
Hey,
Hey,
boo.
what you doing tonight?" She was trying to plan her escape, and she was scared. She was reliant on his money, and she just kinda didn't know what to do. She was survival planning as this was going on. And I think it's something to hold on to because it tries to make you think there's a possible way of getting out of this. But what I do think is amazing, she did get away. And I really loved how she said she was the princess that slayed her dragon.
Yes.
Um, Another thing that I thought was really cool, and it was how she explained the light switch flip. She said, it was a voice, it was clarity. I was no longer scared.
And it was clear.
And it was clear that you need to leave. You need to
Mhm.
get out of here right away. How inspirational was this? She saved herself.
Yeah.
There was no knight in shining armor. There was no family. There was no friend. There was no nothing. There was just her boys, her clarity, and she slayed that dragon.
She slayed that dragon.
So,
And I think why that resonates with you, that voice, is because that tells you just how near death she was. You've heard that voice
yeah.
and you know how near death you were.
hmm
And so I think that's why it's so touching for you is because that brings her story into a whole new level for somebody that's been in a near death situation and heard that same voice.
hmm Yeah, for sure. Just the clarity that you get anyways, regardless, because even with emotional manipulation, it's not even physical. There is that same clarity that you finally get when you kind of realize what's going on. And I said in my book, I'm sitting here drowning in 2 feet of water, and all I had to do was stand the fuck up.
Yep.
That's all I had to do.
Just stand up.
Just stand up. And
I think we can all remember that moment as children
mhm.
when we're flailing about and we think our life's about to end. And then your mom's like, stand up, dumbass. And you're
Yep.
like,
And you're like,
oh, shit.
oh, wow. Imagine that. Mark safe from drowning. But yeah, just the clarity, and you see clearly, and not only you have that clarity of I need to get out of here. Like, well, for me, I had that clarity with the emotional manipulation, but I also had the clarity that came to me of you want to sit there and point the finger and say he's done all of this evil stuff to you. You want to list A, B, C, D, all the exhibits for trial
Mhm.
of how awful he is to you.
Mhm.
But you let him.
Yeah.
You're the one that keeps letting him. Why do you keep letting him come back in and do this to you? So I had 2 big clarity moments
Yeah.
in the last one, and I needed that second one, and I needed to go through all of that because I gotta learn the hard way, and not just once, multiple times I gotta learn the hard way before I'm like, "Oh, hmm," so you keep letting him, and then the next question that came to my mind was, what do you have to do and what do you have to change within yourself that makes you keep allowing this to happen to you? Why do you keep choosing the same man in a different body?
Mhm.
You know?
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if I ever fall in love again, if I did the work or not.
Right.
I did tell myself that I'm going to take him around and have him meet everybody. Be like, we can't be exclusive until every single one of these people tell me yes.
Yeah, because the first red flag on the last one was that I didn't get to meet him for how long?
Nobody did.
A long time.
Nobody did.
Red flag.
Right? Yeah. So
You
that
go bring your date to meet Krystle, it's a red flag.
I know if your bestie doesn't know who they are. Yeah. So yeah, that's a big thing. But so good for Maya.
Yep.
And slaying her dragon. Maya slayed her dragon. And that's what I want all of you to take from this episode. Her strength, her resilience, her clarity, her willingness to bite back. And that's her superpower. Maya said something so profound, and I want to end this with her exact words. Listen to that inner voice, no matter how quiet of a whisper or how loud it screams. Set your boundaries, hold your nose, and you will save yourself from a world full of hurt. We all are guilty at not listening to our inner voice at some point. But clarity changes that. If this episode hit too close to home, you are not crazy, you are never trapped, and you are not alone. There are resources that will help. You can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-7233. Or you can text START, S-T-A-R-T, to 88788. And if someone else needs to hear this, please share this episode with them. Don't forget the book that started this all, Dance with the Devil, is available on Amazon. Have a story you want to tell? You can contact us at sunshinefaymedia@gmail.com. You don't have to be healed, you just have to be honest. Join us next week for Dova's story. This one is really a hard one to listen to, but let me tell you, it's such inspiration because they didn't break her. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon.